live on YouTube. So if you are a fan of YouTube, you can head over there and join our channel. It's at center-media-ai, youtube.com/center-media-ai. And follow us there, and you will get notified whenever we do one of these live events. So I'm pretty stoked that we got this to work. Yes, I'm a surfer, and yes, I say stoked. Center on X, it's at Center AI, so you can follow us there as well. Or you can go to our Facebook page. Like we got it going on. So I'm Joel Horowitz. I'm the founder of Center Media, and I'm super excited to be here with you all. We have a lot of really fun updates to share with you this week. I know, I gotta like probably update our like our our schedule and description of basically what we're going to be talking about, because we can talk a little bit about landing page optimizations. That's fine. We have landing pages and it does that well. Yet I think there's more exciting, like kind of breaking news. Like we actually got access finally to OpenAI's Chat GPT ads platform, and I was able to deploy that to Center yesterday. So that's breaking news. So if you haven't tried that, and if you have, so we're a bring your own account kind of platform for the most part. So you'll need your own OpenAI ads account to then bring that to Center and have us kind of run it for you. And you might be saying, well, why wouldn't I just do that directly through OpenAI? You can, like, there's no reason not to. Yet, if you kind of want to integrate into your, cross-platform, ad strategy, media buying strategy, then Center could be useful for that. And I'll show you why in a moment. So let me jump into the presentation here. So I'm going to share my screen. So bear with me one quick moment. Just going to share my entire screen. So hopefully this works just fine. Yes, it does. Getting the mirror. So can you? Yeah, I think everyone can see my screen. This is brought to you by Obvious. In terms of, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Obvious team. They have a great product. If you haven't tried it, I would encourage you to do so. It's basically like Google, I think it's called like what, Workspace on steroids. This is kind of one of their really neat ones. I gave this talk actually on Tuesday, so 2 days ago. So I figured I should just like give it here again. And so just want to share, like, we're no longer just like kind of a, little like flat, startup. We're growing quite fast. We hit a pretty like great run rate. This week we hit about 231 million of ad spend under management on the platform. We have quite a few active users now. Many using the product for free, which I'm cool with. So have at it. It's limited on credits, but there's still quite a lot you can do for free on the platform. Most people are getting through onboarding, so it's great. We still have some work to do there. So if you're one of the 30, what is that, 23%? Yeah, my math is better than that. If you're one of the 23% that has an issue, feel free to reach out to me directly. My email is joel@centermedia.ai. Again, joel@centermedia.ai, or you can send it to my other work address, joel@centerai.com. Either one will get to me. Lots of platform integrations now, 14 plus are ad platforms. So just to kind of set the context of, again, like for the people who may have never heard of Center, like who is this guy and why should I care? Well, the reason is because there's ad platform sprawl. I would say the vast majority of people that I talk to, literally daily, are still probably only running on Meta and Google, believe it or not. And I would argue like LinkedIn for like the business crowd. And that's a pretty narrow, list of platforms, I would say. And so you could actually go and like, basically easily just start testing other platforms, with Center. So you can test Microsoft Bing search. It's actually like a lot less expensive in terms of CPCs. Like, so I usually recommend people who are kind of in the B2B tech space to try it, because believe it or not, there are still people out there still using Internet Explorer. I guess they call it Edge now, who have like Microsoft machines. I know, I'm not, no judgment. It's all good, but they tend to be pretty IT based and pretty more like financial people. Like I know like people in my ecosystem use a lot more Windows, for Excel and that kind of thing. So Bing tends to work actually really well. If you haven't thought of that already. But yeah, like, so basically we want to be Cursor, but for ads. So like, if you think about Cursor, what does Cursor do? Well, it's a fork of obviously like VS Code, but when they forked it, what they ended up doing was building a really nice integrated development environment IDE for bringing in multiple models, right? Multiple frontier models and one IDE, so you can run multiple agents at once, and they can all kind of work together. That's kind of the same premise of Center. So like Center is not just everyone always asks me like, well, what model do you use? And I'm like, well, I use all of them. I use, GPT 5.5 or 5.4, depending. I use, Opus. I use Haiku. I use Sonnet. I use Gemini. I use Grok. Like I use all of them. It depends on the work, right? And each agent and each model has its own kind of quirks and things that does maybe better than others. We have to tune it to make sure that it still like executes quickly, because time is money, as we all know. And so yeah, it really works quite well. So all you'd have to do if you go into Center today, if you sign up for centermedia.com, excuse me, centermedia.ai, you can just ask questions like this, like, pause, you can just execute. You can say pause every campaign where the CPA is over 150, and it'll just do it, right? It'll just run and do it. We have an MCP, so you can do it from Center Media, directly, or you can do it from any of your favorite, AI coding harnesses or agents, right? So whether you use AMP, or whether you use Claude, or whether you use Codex, or whether you use Devin. Shout out to Ryan out there, who's a big Devin fan. I think. I mean, it changes sometimes. You can use any of these things, and it works really, really quite well. And yeah, so you can just kind of go through and say, build a target, target this audience. We're actually now adding in, it's kind of like a, what do you call it? Easter egg or hidden feature. I don't know what you'd call it, but basically we're now adding in audiences to Center. So we have some really great partnerships with like shout out to Revenue Base. So we have Revenue Base, who we've partnered with to basically now create some really great audiences. We're also talking to some other really great partners right now. Watt Data, WATT Data. They're amazing. I just met the team yesterday. We're looking at bringing them in to start doing some signal-based work as well. So like if, for example, somebody maybe post a job, or maybe they like did something online that means they might be in the market for your product. We might be able to detect those signals, and Center may be able to shift budget and resources and ads, frankly, to those particular users who are showing buying signals. So that's kind of the high level of what this is and why we built it. I've been in doing growth marketing for as long as I can remember. It's gone, through a lot of different, maturations, if that's a word. I never know if that's a word. I think it's a word. Over the years, and it was self-serve, it was, freemium to a degree. I know it's not exactly the same thing. These are all like kind of business models intermixed. It was like, not like the latest craze was like product-led growth, as if like product's the only thing that's going to lead growth. It's not. It takes a lot more than the product. It takes people as the biggest part, and time and commitment and doing things right. So, yeah, I've been doing this a while. And the other thing is like making sure that we have like the right guardrails, we have the right security. So anyone who connects to Center, we have had zero. I mean, I'm going to say this, but knock on wood, we've had zero incidents, literally none. Nobody on our platform has been permanently banned, unlike some of my competitors, because we don't share, developer tokens, we don't share keys, we don't do naughty things. We follow the rules, and sometimes that slows people down. They say they think it's a bug, but it's not a bug. It just means that we don't really have access to some of those maybe features or APIs yet, because we have to go through the right channels and the right process to get those added to the platform. So I say all of that, but yeah, we have a lot of platforms, Google, Meta, LinkedIn, Reddit, TikTok, amazing. Yeah, we can do all of this. So what am I going to talk about today? Well, I actually think look, I'm going to talk about what I think is driving the most growth. And what's driving the most growth for us is actually it's not just organic, it's not just LLM visibility. It's how do you intermingle these two worlds together? I think a lot of people like do one or the other and don't understand, how you should mix these two together. And so I'm going to show you in a moment how you can do that with Center. We're watching, LLM referral traffic is growing the fastest. I mean, everyone knows this. That's why there's like, so many people I get on LinkedIn messaging me about, hey, how do I what's the word? I'm sorry. How do I basically like grow my growth. How do I do LLM visibility? And I'm always telling them, it's not hard. Write good content and optimize for LLMs. And you know what LLMs like? They like markdown files. So like, create your own stash and reach out to me and I can tell you how we did that. I think I actually have a post about this somewhere else. But that's one piece. That's like kind of ranking for that. Then the other thing is you can use Cinter to basically find where there's opportunities. And so basically, what this looks like in practice, I'll show you kind of what this looks like. There's two threads that I built this week at the AI Tinkerers event. And so this is real data. This is my data. I don't mind sharing it. We're basically looking at, obviously, here for, this is basically Google search performance. You can see it here. So now we're in Cinter's IDE, right? And so similar to Cursor, you can start new agents pretty easily here. We have the main, agent activity in the center here. You can also look at the session replay to see kind of all the different tools and activities. This is great for auditability, right? If you're like, okay, what did this agent actually do? You can even go down and dig into the details. But right away, you can see what you would expect. Like Cinter is obviously like our brand. And so we get, we're doing very well there. Cinter AI, we're dominating there. So branded stuff, we're doing fine. Like, so click through rate. I don't need to spend. So the bottom line is like, I don't need to spend any like ad dollars on that. Where we could be doing better is on some of these other kind of terms, right? And so if you come down here, you can look at, we're ranking very high for AI paid media reporting automation. We're like top position, yet we aren't getting any clicks. So this is a great example of where you should, maybe we can run some ads. And so sure enough, it says, okay, like I can use SpyFu. And so now I can say, all right, well, how much would it cost, to run, a paid campaign, right, for these keywords? And so this is what's interesting. So if I ran this for paid, it would be like, 18 to 30. That's a very high CPC. So we're not going to do that. And so what I'm going to say back to my team, my growth team, is I'm going to say, actually, let's not run ads here. Let's like work on our content to win these keywords, right? And rank there, because that's a much better use of resources than trying to like just spend money and burn cash. For these ones, we're already doing pretty well. There's some competitors that we can probably look out. Sorry, competitors, but you're real and we exist. It's a free market, let's go. Anyways, and then there's like some near, no competition where we can actually start like building some stuff out. But yeah, like we can basically then take this and build out a whole like campaign. It'll give you a whole plan of how to do this on the right hand side. And it'll actually execute this. For people on the webinar, like feel free to reach out and chat with me. I'm just looking over at the public chat. So stop me at any time if you have any questions or concerns. Hopefully everyone was able to join. We'll see. Anyway, so this is kind of what that looks like this is from a Google search standpoint. So just kind of give you a rundown of how this looks like. If you go into settings after you sign up for the first time, you can actually go, if you go to like Google search, you can connect your Google search right here, right? So you can connect your domain, and then Cinter can just access that really, really easily. You can also add analytics, and you could also add Google Tag Manager, which are all really nice because that means you can basically, pull all of your analytics in one place. And not only that, Cinter can actually execute things. So like if you want to build a report in Google Analytics, you can do that with Cinter. If you want to make a change on your Google Tag Manager because you're missing an event trigger or you're missing a pixel or whatever, Cinter can do that. And it happens. Like we all miss things from time to time, and that's how it is. And then the other thing I was going to show you was, so OpenAI is in here. So right here. So if you want to connect to OpenAI, the other one that we just added recently is called Gauge. Gauge is pretty slick. We've been using them for, shout out to Ethan and Kaylin and the team over there. Really cool stuff. We've been using them now for, I want to say, 6 months. I first got introduced to Gauge over at SourceGraph when I was there as head of growth. And they were like an early provider of LLM visibility. They're great. So if you haven't tried them, you should give them a shout. They're more like on, I would say, like kind of like, it's interesting because all these LLM, like observability, like kind of companies, rather like AI, EO, or whatever you want to call this, tend to kind of like have like different, like, I think philosophies. And so, Gauge is like very, I would say like technical, like they remind me a little bit of like Ahrefs in some ways from the SEO world. And then there's companies like Gumshoe who are great. They're more like I would say more on like the similar web kind of like style where I feel like they're more like so you create personas with Gumshoe, like they're really good at understanding like how your brand shows up, right? So it's all very interesting because there's like these different like flavors. It's like Baskin and Robbins, like what 31 flavors of LLM SEO. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, so like you can now connect Gauge. All you have to do is just add your API key if you have one. And then you can pull that in here. And so I did that here. And so this is what, LLM looks like. So then I can see, okay, how am I doing like visibility wise? Like B2B is doing pretty well. Areas where I'm not doing well and I need to work on is like creative stuff. And so, there's some limitations with the tools that we're still building because it's brand new. It tells us where like we should be doing more work, which is actually quite interesting. So it's saying this is where we can do more work. So it's really nice. And then I can say, okay, like let's go through and let's run like a Reddit, campaign. So because and Reddit's like actually a really interesting platform where um, quite frankly, it's really difficult like to be able to like actually comment because the moderator there's are like pretty intense. But you can run ads. And so like if there are areas that you really want to like kind of drive into, like this, you can actually generate, text ads or image ads. And you can do all of that within with here in Cinter. So I actually like created this, campaign, at a few $100s a month. You can actually like go out and build the, ad creatives and everything else now. So yeah, it works really well. I know I'm going through this fast. Reach out to me if you have any questions. So yeah, so LLMs are a big deal. Like I said, we actually also added in an outbound machine. We're probably going to call this like Center Outbound.ai. We're using it internally right now. It's a phenomenal tool that shout out to Emery who built this. Impressive guy. If you're not talking to Emery, like reach out to that guy. He's an outbound master. And so, anyways, it's really amazing. Lots of contacts in here, but then we use Center to execute as our agent, and so it's pretty great. We've reduced our bounce rates quite a lot, down to under 2%. We've done really well at like not spamming people. I hope, but tell me if we are. So I'll change. I'll make a change. But we're trying to like reach people. Who really have like an intent, to buy, or we really feel like we can make a difference in their life. Like, quite honestly, like a lot of the media buyers that I talk to are just like flat out. They're like, man, I don't even have time to look at new tools or look at this because I'm like running on empty, like trying to like do Google search over here and figuring out the latest thing with Meta over there. Like, even within these platforms, they keep adding like new campaigns. Like Google added like demand gen, there's AI Max, there's PMax, there's so many. Like there's so many different campaign types. Display, search only. Like, don't get me started. So like, if you're new to like media buying, and you're a small company like an SMB or a mid-sized company, like, man, like there's just not enough time in the day to like learn all this stuff, in my opinion. But what's cool is like if you use Center, even if you don't use Center, if you don't feel comfortable using it for execution, that's all right. Like right away, you learn a lot about the ad platform. Central will like build you a media plans. Like this is kind of some of the campaigns you should think about running. So that's pretty slick. Um, but yeah, like some of the key lessons, that we learned early was basically, yeah, SEO matters. Like there's a lot of people that will like push SEO off, or they're like, oh, I'm gonna like, hire someone to help me with SEO, which is great. Like there's a lot of great people out there. Like shout out to Matt Tanner, SEO, master out there as well. So if you don't know Matt, reach out to him. And like, and people like, oh, I want to see like SEO results like right away. Like if I showed you our like SEO, it was slow till about we started in December, and by March we finally started seeing things like creep up. So it takes months like to see sometimes the results of this work, but it's well worth it. Following your metrics, look at before and after. We Cinter has a really nice way of rolling things back. So if you do make a mistake, it's very easy to see the audit trail, both inside of Cinter itself, but also in the ad platform. So like if you go into like, the Google AdWords like change log, it won't show up as Cinter, which is actually really quite nice. It'll show up as whoever, has the OAuth, because we're not using Cinter's token yet again. We're using your token, right? So this is a bring your own account, platform. So it means that, we're not managing your ads. You're managing your own ads. So it's really nice, especially if you're an agency, your clients know that you're still like the one managing your ads, which is what you want. Um, yeah, and so basically, there's a lot of tools. There's a platform that rhymes with play, that is like hiking their rates. And I used to love that platform. Yet, I was an early growth person with my friend Rich. Shout out to Rich if you're out there, Taylor. We were doing growth and doing like at Datamir, a company called Datamir. And it was all tables. So like the table model, like especially like building out like integrations and pipelines of tables is freaking brutal. Like it's really easy to get it set up and get going. Like shout out for that. But then it's like to maintain, it's really, really tough. So look, I'm a big fan, yet, hiking the rates, and then not really like playing well with others. Like it's hard to extend that platform. And then like the whole credit rate thing just kind of blew me. So it was like, all right, I'm not going. Blew me out. So I'm not going to like go that route anymore. Um, and so long story short, yeah, like I just basically realized that we needed to go a different path. So we went with revenue based, which I think is a really great product. This one, like zoom in, Yuki, like this. Uh-huh. Okay, great. Hopefully that's better. Um, but yeah, so we decided to like build our own because the other options out there, quite frankly, are not AI native, right? They don't have MCP servers. In fact, they want you to like, man, I tried to use it, and it was brutal. I mean, to go in there and try to use that, it should not be that hard. And so that reminds me, so Center does have its own MCP server, so you can come in here, click settings, and here's what's really cool. Actually, I'm gonna just go what do you call it, off script a little bit, because you have all these integrations. So once you integrate this, there's so much cool stuff you can do. I almost used the bad word, but like I said, there's this audit log. But then you can actually use MCP server, right? So you can come in here, create a key, and all you have to do is copy this. So if you open up, Claude Code here, let's just go in here. You go, CD work, CD center media. You just go like this and add your key. Yeah, it already exists, so Claude already knows, and that's it. And then it'll just like add your thing, just add your key where it's missing, and actually it'll probably find your key because it'll pull it. And then you have it in Claude. So then you can just go like this, go to Claude. Oops, let me go back. Sorry, I got the wrong command. This one. Then I could say MCP, and you can see my MCP servers. Um, and it's here. There's center ads connected there. 85 tools. We have a few different versions of this that I test. So I can just say like, pull my, Google search console performance, because already connected, right? Performance data using center, MCP. I shouldn't have to write all of that, but it should work just fine. And so then you have like you can just do this in Claude. Sorry, it's so small. Let me make this bigger. Bear with me. So yeah, you can use this in Claude, you can use this in Codex, you can use this in Devon, you can use this in Claude Desktop. We have just add like basically mcp.centermedia.ai and you're off to the races. It's super, super easy. Oh, this one's calling Gauge. I guess it decided to use Gauge instead of Center. Don't ask me why, but that's fine. You can kind of see Gauge works fine. That's nice. Let's stop it from doing that. Hold on a second. Use Center MCP for Google search. It's funny how it did that, right? It's even though I said use Center, it didn't do it. So let's see if it does this time. But that one's not bad. Anyways, that's the MCP server. I'll come back to that one in a moment. The other one that I think is pretty cool are the skills. So we have a bunch of skills like baked in here that you can like look at. But if we don't have a skill that you want, you're like, I made my own skills for my own brand, for my own landing pages. You can actually like just drop them in here. Just drag and drop them on here, right? Or my favorite thing to do lately is go to skills.hs, which is the Vercel like thing. So like, let's say we want a landing page, um, you know, uh, generator optimizer. Let's go optimizer. Is that a thing? Yeah, optimization right here. But look at it like so. This one actually has like a lot of like installs, copywriter, generator. I'm gonna go with optimization. Not so many, likes, but that's fine. You can kind of look at this here, show more, kind of see what it's gonna do. You can kind of look at what it's focused on. Okay, fine. And then you can actually just grab this like this. Check this out. You just grab that and you head over to here. You just drop it in from the GitHub and click install. Oh, it didn't like that one. I wonder why I didn't like that one. That was funny. It's been working all day just fine. Live demos, it's always a funny thing. Let's try this one. Maybe this one's working. Maybe that one's no longer there. I don't know. Let's try this one. Bear with me. So go like this, install. Yeah, there we go. So that one works. So maybe that one's no longer available. So now what I have here, let me zoom in a little bit. So now what I have, I go all the way down. If I have, like, these are all the custom skills that I've added for me. And so you can kind of see, here's the landing one we just added. This is the date. Probably should rank this by the time of day. And then I can actually see the skill in here. And if you're looking at it, you can actually come in here and edit it. You can tweak it, right? So I don't want best SaaS landing page examples, so it says this is kind of what it should look like, right? And so then you could just call this in to center. So you can say something like, let's go over here. And this is going to be a live demo. So don't hate me if it's, a little slow. But let's go like this. And I can show you in a moment. I'm going to try this. I haven't really tried this in a while. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. So one of the things that we do, so see how there's no accounts connected. So here we're going to want to connect an account. So we're going to let's go with Google Analytics. What else do I have? Not Search Console. I'm just looking to see Tag Manager would be good. I'm going to grab both of these. Like I said, there's Gauge. Yeah, this should be fine for now. So then I could say, hey, center, build me a landing page for, I don't know, for agencies like digital marketing, digital marketing agencies using this new skill. Yeah, and that's it. And so then we just see what it does. I've never done this. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it should be able to pull the skill in just fine. Over here in the bottom right, you'll see this is where it'll actually have the skill. Let's see what it did. So there's the skill. There you go. There's the skill. It loaded it in. Right? You can kind of see it right here. So it's not a joke. So then you could say, okay, what do you want the headline? Can you suggest these details based on what you know about centermedia.ai. I got to make this a little bit better, so just suggest already, or you can put all of this in. We do when you sign up, we'll actually run an analysis on your website and pull in all of your branding, all of your messaging, and you can actually edit that in settings. I'll show you how that works in a moment. But you can do that. While this is running, I want to show you one other thing that I think is pretty cool. So let's try this. Yeah, so again, you can kind of pull all these in. Let's just do meta for fun, for funsies. And we just added a new feature where you can create some really nice performance marketing report. So we can say create and AI generate. Sorry for my dog; he's very loud. That's all right. He had his birthday, turned 4 yesterday. He's a little Australian Labradoodle who thinks the kitchen is his domain. So whenever I go in there, he kind of just stares at me until I leave. But yeah, funny little animal. Anyway, so yeah, so there you go. So this is a meta. Look how fast it works. And the reason why it's so fast, well, there's some IP in there, but I'll tell you, Center is very fast. I'll just tell you that, faster than Claude and faster than these other ones. And there's reasons for that we've done some tricks. So here's my meta campaign, go to 90, right? It's pretty slick, right? So we're building this out. It's not fully available to everyone yet, but it's really quite good. Look how nice our CPA is and conversions. Yeah, we're crushing. So nice to see. And then you could even share this. Let's see if this works. Hopefully it works because I haven't looked at it in a minute. Then you can share this here, and then it works. So then you can actually share this with your buddies. And then what's cool about this, and Matthew, if you're listening, this one was for you at Promoted. So shout out to Matthew. So we built this for you and anybody else. But what's cool about it is then, whoops, that's not what I want to do. Go forth, please. Okay, here. But you can also so you can set an expiration for a day, a week. It's pretty cool. You can switch versions if it updates, right? You can actually put a passcode here so that you don't share this, so people actually have the passcode to get in. That's kind of fun. I started sharing these as templates because you actually copy this template and then repurpose it. It strips out all the the connection stuff. You can also add in people like in on your team. So here's our buddy Emery. So I can just say, hey Emery, you can view this, or you can even edit it. So like make Emery an editor. So I just sent it to him. So now he has access to this. He can jump in and kind of like keep going. So it's pretty slick. So that works well. And then this is my landing page. Oh, that's pretty good. So it's using this skill. It's already done. It's not published yet. So again, we always wait for approvals. I think this is not too bad, not too shabby. It has our center branding, which is great. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and publish it. Um, and it's super, super easy. It actually like is interactive. So that's great. So it's going to publish this landing page. So if you want, so this will publish, by default on Center Media. But if you want this to publish, on your own domain. Sorry, my brain is a little bit slow this morning. You can actually just go into. By the way, it'll tell you like, you need to like basically like, custom domain. So like this is going to be agencies there or go. So you can actually do this. It's better for Google Ads quality score. You're like wherever you host your domain and add a new DNS setting that's CNAME and pointing to basically to Vercel because it'll auto resolve. And then add in your whatever stub, whatever subdomain like start. We used to use start at Alpine Data Labs back in the day, or you can use go, or you can use agencies like it's suggesting here. Just ask Center, it'll tell you what to do. We can also add UTMs so that it makes sure that it gets the right tracking here for all the different links and also the page itself. We can create a LinkedIn campaign. This is a good LinkedIn campaign it suggests for media directors. So you can do that. Like, yeah, go ahead. Like, yeah, go ahead and add this as a test on LinkedIn. But I want to make sure. So this is a good thing for you guys to notice. I got to make sure that LinkedIn is connected. So I'm going to go find LinkedIn here. So we want to make sure that you guys really are in control of your accounts, right, and your connections. If you're doing this, locally with Claude, hey, hats off to you. Go for it. That's what I did for a year before I built Center. But it's troublesome because if you get it wrong, like I did, you could end up, updating site links to the wrong account, for example, or you can post to the wrong account, right? That's happened to me, and it's true, and stuff happens and fail fast, and that's why I built Center. So now you can very easily just like select, the account that you want to post to, and we just make absolutely sure that you get it right. So if you're an agency or if you're even an individual at a brand, but you have multiple sites or multiple accounts, this is the guardrail that helps you manage that. Yep. So we can just do this. And now it's just going to go and basically, execute. I'm just checking. Are there any questions out there in the universe? I don't know, Yuthki, if you're scanning, X or LinkedIn or anywhere, if anyone's. I don't know if like when people post, to those like live streams, if they like, I'm saying like if it shows up here, but we could maybe let's ask the team, our production team, like how that works. Um, but yeah, anyways, so there you go. So like it's already built out look how fast this is. It's just oh, go ahead, Youth. I think you were gonna say something. Go ahead. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I got that one. Yeah, yeah. Nice. Nice. Thank you so much, Yuthki. Yuthki is the best. If you don't know Yuthki, she's amazing. We ran into each other at Single Store where she was leading all of our community growth, and she's just like unbelievably great. Anyways, so campaign structure, right? So center, right? That's not really the best name, I guess, but I guess that's oh, that's right here actually. So this is a test. So I told it to test this, so it made it test, right? It's gonna do website visitors, so you can change all this. Like it's super easy. Look at how well it does to seniority, company. So look how much time you'd save. So like, yeah, go ahead. So OneNote, yeah. It always so sometimes it'll like show these like that conversion art tracking. It's not. I got to work on that a little bit because I think it's sometimes there's some false negatives. Is that what it's called? False negative? Yeah. So I gotta work on that a little bit. So that's something I have to look into. But anyways, if it were true, I would actually go in and use like Google Tag Manager. But I just want to show you like how this would like get built quickly. But it is very fast. Like within the last, I don't know, 10 minutes of talking, I've shown you how I use Google search. I've shown you what we're doing for LLMs. I've shown you now, like I said, like how I would do landing page, conversion optimizations. Yeah, it works really quite well. So yeah, we're gonna spend some credits. It costs 200 credits to basically do a campaign. Um, so there's that. The more expensive things are going to be like creatives, just so you guys know. So just be aware of that. Like, so, what I would suggest is if you already have, creatives in your accounts, like to just repurpose those if you can. If not, you can also drag, like you can drag a whole .fig file. Now I've never done it, but I'm pretty sure you can. Like you can drag like a full .fig file. Depends how big it is. I think we have like some size restrictions, but anyways, you can drag in Markdown, you can drag in a PDF, you can drag in even videos, you can drag in like images like PNGs or JPEGs and whatnot. And Cincher can use those either as inspiration or use them like you can tell to use like flat out to use those as your creatives. So yeah, and actually this one it looks like it's going to create some images here. So that's interesting. Um, so yeah, it's going to create some new creatives for this campaign. That's fun. So it's going to do that in a moment. You'll see this like if you notice like we have this now like pending action thing up here. So what this is basically like Cinter is running autonomously in the background. And so what it's going to do is it's going to say, hey, we think you should actually increase your budget. So I can say, yep, approve this. I can approve this and I can approve that, right? I got to work on that a little bit. But anyways, that's what it's doing. So it is running autonomously in the background. So this is, the way I treat this right now, we're in like Tesla circa 2020, let's call it maybe 21, where FSD was there, but like you still have to have your hands on real, steering wheel. You have to like shake it like every few minutes, you know what I mean, to make sure that there's a human still watching this. That's kind of where we're at with Cinter. We're like Tesla, like circa 2021, right? I think we'll get to like fully autonomous, like full FSD even like sooner than you can imagine where this all of this goes. It's super exciting. I'm already running like quite a few autonomous agents on our own campaigns that quite honestly it just sends me an update daily with the tweaks that it's making based on what it's seeing. If you want to be an early adopter to some of these new features and functionalities, you can reach out to me directly, or you can go over here to settings and there's a beta program, and just click this, and then I review. Yeah, like I'll review like this, and then we can even get like what you get as part of the beta program is more credits per month. I need to add more features here. We should look at this. It's pretty interesting. But anyways, we'll give you new channels when they come out. Like OpenAI will come out to you first, so you can use that one first. We'll have a weekly like founder call with everybody. So we're just building this out. But yeah, if you go over there and just click that you want to be part of the beta program, let me know. Or just go in here and click the button, and we'll add you to the list. As we're building these landing pages, you probably like, okay, by the way, sometimes it's better to view this in dark mode, so you can like switch to dark, and then it's easier to see for me, or maybe for you as well. And so like basically, like I said, if you want to use landing pages on your own domain, it works really well. Like Google loves like landing pages that are like match the ads that you're running. So just do it, and you'll thank me later. And so we have this idea of like publishing. This is the landing page we just created a moment ago. It's on, we can create our own custom domain here, like Go or agencies is what it said. Super easy. So landing pages are great. And what's baked into all these landing pages are conversions, right? And so these are all the different tags that we have running on Google and Meta and TikTok and whatever. And so when you build a landing page, then you only have to add like one key to your website, right? From Cinter. You can do it direct or through Google Tag Manager. You can add in the events, there. And that way you don't have to go and do this. It's server side. And so it'll fan out, across all the different destinations, right? So you can select a platform here. So let's go to, I don't know, LinkedIn. And then it's the partner ID, and then I just add it, boom, done. So now LinkedIn's going to get these events, right? So it's server side. So what's cool about this is that when you use landing pages, or if you install us, then we'll do all the CAPI setup for you on the back end. So it's kind of a CDP. I don't know. Like, I don't really know what the terms these are. I just built this out of necessity because I wanted it and I just love it. And it's great. It saves me a lot of time. So those are just some examples. I know we're getting up to time. Are there any other questions by anyone so far? There we go. So look, there's an ad. Look at this nice ad that it created. This is that. Sorry, that's not the ad, but this is a reasonably good ad. It's missing some text, so that's not quite right. So when it does this, like it's showing how this is going to look actually in LinkedIn. So there you go. It'll actually like kind of show this. It's interesting. So you can ask questions like, don't do we want to show text and a CTA? I don't know, like maybe this like the way it's doing the CTA on the ad creative. Like I tend to ask questions because I don't really always I'm not like, always sure what its strategy is. But yeah, it created the creatives. And by the way, so then you can like approve this, it'll tell you like where it's going. You can look at it's going to the landing page, see that we created here. Super smart. Like look how well it does this. I mean, I'm just always impressed by not myself, but by the agent, like how smart these agents are. It's wild. So so yeah, it agrees that we should do it differently. So yeah, yes, composite it. We actually have an internal system. So like we're not just calling, GPT image 2, we're not just calling Gemini. What we're really doing is we have a multiple composition structure. So it'll pull the background image, then it'll layer over the text, it'll layer over the headline, add the CTA, and then it goes through a quality review, right? So then when it says, it rates it, for different aspects. Like this is a skill that we created. I actually published this to skills.sh. I don't know if it's there yet, but it should show up soon. I think it takes 24, 48 hours for our GitHub repo to show up on skills. So look, I was born in the world of open source. I was an early Hadoop user, Apache Spark user. I love open source software, big fanatic about it. And so I'm open sourcing as much as I can in terms of skills and tools and things that we're doing here. I think it's really great to have people saving time and money using these tools and skills. And so yeah, we share those on the skills.sh site. So if you're not following that, you don't need to like wait on X or LinkedIn for someone to like, oh, I just invented, a new skill. Like, no, bro, like they're all on skills.sh. Like go there and check it out. What else? So yeah, so this one's kind of updating the creatives. Yuki, was there anything else you think I should cover? Or how are we doing on time? You got some of this. Okay. Let's wait for the ads to finish. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I can't really go into ChatGPT just yet because I haven't ran it yet. So like I'm very excited for the weekend. I'm coaching 2 baseball games, but when I have some downtime or rather some late night time, I'm going to actually build out. So anything that I do here, I've done myself, right? So anything that you can do in Center today, I've ran myself. So we eat our own dog food over here, as gross as that sounds, but it is true. Like I use Center daily, literally daily, sometimes hourly. Oh, one thing I was going to show, I think Yuki that we were talking about earlier. Hopefully, this works. Yeah, there we go. So now it's creating a new creatives. Um, One other thing I was gonna say is like Center also is actually works pretty well on mobile. So like, I find it like pretty nice to just be able to like, if I'm out and about, I can just basically like then yeah, this one's good, but the text is a little bit off the page. It's getting there, but not quite. We got to kind of keep working on this a little bit more. It's getting the text right, but yeah, I'll just let it know. The text appears to be getting cut off. This also just because the way this is rendering. So we'll have to see. But anyways, so yeah, you can approve, reject. So like we never run creatives until after. Like, look, check it out. It also got all the UTMs right. Like that's like a huge time saver. Like you'll never, if you use Center, I shouldn't say never, but I think there's a very, very like low likelihood that you will forget to add UTMs, which is like what attribution is in a nutshell. I mean, there's all these companies out there that claim like Hockey Stack. I mean, love them, but there's all these tools that claim to do all this magic. None of that matters if you don't attribute your shit. Like, sorry for using bad words, but it is true. Like, if you don't attribute your links, the best tools are going to do nothing for you. They aren't. They're just useless. They're a waste, right? HubSpot won't help you. Hockey Stack won't help you. Like nobody will help you. Like attribute your stuff, right? Then you can figure it out, and that's what basically flows through into your CRM. We actually have integrations with ADIO, Pipedrive, Salesforce, HubSpot, etc., and so on. So yeah, if you attribute it, then you can actually like say actually see what works, especially if you're in B2B. Like I get it, like in B2C, like our direct to consumer, our business to consumer. You can get direct, you can get direct what am I trying to say? You can get like a direct like signal because you can like see the checkout, like the time. Excuse me, the time is very narrow, you know. Um, but in reality, in reality though, in B2B, like the sales cycle could be like over 30 days, 60, 90 days, right? And so I was just going to show you really fast, like, if you go over here, um, let's see, where are we? Yeah, we have Adio right here. By the way, what's also cool about Center, I should have mentioned, is how we kind of do all the sharing and file structure. So like, someone on my team, Jakub, like he shared this other like test, Adio thing that we use to test for like new features with Adio. But I can see it that Jakub added this. So I have visibility into all the connections. So if you're at a large enterprise software company, you have your own in-house team, it's pretty useful to see like what other, accounts people are connecting to. Otherwise, I guess maybe you're using like one password and sharing like, logins that way. Like that's kind of a pain. So this is nice. This is a nice way to consolidate everything. Oh yeah, I was going to show you that one more thing. Oh yeah, we also have search. So if you do like Command K, you can literally like search for all these things. It's super, that's like, if you're trying to like, oh, where is that thing that Joel showed? Like just search for it, do Command K, short key, right? Shortcut. Here though, what I was going to show you is that you can create like a new project folder. So I can call this like, growth, AI growth machines, I think this is episode 9. I guess we can make it a capital episode 9 and create this. And what's cool is then I can actually just like open this up. Well, I can do a couple of things. I can actually slide this into that folder. Yeah, over here. Let me see if this works. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, interesting. Well, it's going to do that. Huh. Did not want that. That's funny. This is actually what mobile looks like for the record. So if you guys are curious what it looks like on mobile, this is what it looks like. So on mobile, you can see like we have it all set up so it's like super easy to use. And so like I said, like you can still see the document editor here, right? So this will show up on mobile as well, which is really quite nice. As well as chat. So if you're out and about, like you can actually talk to the agent on your mobile device. It works really quite well actually. You can look at the plan, you can look at what you're connected to, so on and so forth. So yeah, there's that. I don't know how you close it. Oh, there it is down here. But anyways, what I was going to say is like, once you're in here, if I go back out, sorry, I think that's how we do it. I can actually go here and then see how it's in draft mode. I can say, okay, this one's actually done. Like, so I can change this to in review so that then my team will know like, okay, which campaigns do we need to like go and like look at for the week? I can then move this to the growth machine section. I can even change the colors of these folders. It's really quite fun. Like I enjoy kind of like, so there you go. So you can do that one. And then I can share this folder publicly if I want to. So I can go like this and move this over there to AI growth machines, and so on. So like then all these things are just here. I can open them up. You can kind of see like, okay, this one's still in draft. This one's in review, so on and so forth. So, this is about also not just like, oh, how good is my agent and what model am I using and how great is my creative? Like that'll all come. Don't worry. Like we have some really cool stuff, cooking. The bigger problem is like, how do you work with agents and people, right? And like human in the loop so that you don't hallucinate, so that you don't publish something that you didn't mean to. So then you can even like, filter this for like things that are in review, things that are approved, things that are unpublished. The other thing that I get asked is like, okay, but where are all these assets? So like, here's my asset library. So if you do create videos with us, like UGCs, images, you can look also like what's approved. We're also adding some really cool stuff. So here's a really cool, like nice, you'll see this on LinkedIn. I built this this week. But there's some really cool like images that, creatives that we created. This one's on Reddit. Reddit likes Cody people. So we created like a really cool like Reddit post there. I like this one. This one's pretty fun. So like there's all these creatives. So these are all the approved ones. You can just look at like all of the, all of these ones. Look at all, all creatives and that'll show up there. Ones that are saved and so on. You can look at, images, videos. And then we're going to add in, we're adding this in quickly. But basically you can then see like, okay, how much was spent on this creative? What's its ROAS, CPM, what ads are currently running them. We're currently working on that. So that one's a little bit behind. But we'll catch up. And then landing pages, you got all your landing pages. You can see all the data there. I listen, like all of this is already available in the agent. Like I'm not a big fan of investing too much in like, UI, because it's all going to go autonomous, anyways, right? I'm all for simplicity, and like really having like streamlined, user experience. And so, anyways, oh, and then one other thing I want to share with you. Sorry, I just kind of got off topic. But if I come back here, was it this one? Let's see. Oh, it wants me to connect. Okay. Let's just do this one. Oh, so yeah, so this one's connecting by the folder. So like you can give only folders like certain access if you're an admin. Oh, it looks like I have a meeting coming up. So I can do something like this. Yeah, so it's not available. So your admin can decide if you create a folder system like we have here, like this one, then your admin, sorry, like this one, then your admin can decide which connections are available to you in that folder. So you can even do it like folder based, right? Because different projects you don't want to like, you just want to be careful. So I've like built a lot of checks. I got burned by that myself, and so now I'm like building a lot of checks and balances into this. So that's kind of what it looks like. What I was gonna say though is like, let's say for some reason, let me do this one more time. Bear with me. Let's say for some reason that I'm having trouble like with something, right? So like you're gonna run into issues, or maybe you just don't know what to prompt. This. So it's like, all right. So like for example, in this case, my creatives weren't really getting there, so I can say, my creatives are still showing the text, bleeding into the edge, right? Right. Please, let me know how I can fix this. So I actually built our autonomous agent into this chatbot powered by Plane. So thanks to the Plane team. So pretty cool. So then you can basically just ask a question, and Center, my OpenClaw will actually come back. I've trained it, him, her, it, I don't know, they. I've basically trained it to go and look at exactly what you're doing. So check this out. It's a constraint. The image sometimes placed text too close is to generate create say, add, yeah, so you can do this like add 10% padding. That's useful. And you can say, okay, which one am I doing? This is for LinkedIn ads, right? And it's going to create, like, if it can't figure this out, or if you can't figure it out, you can add, it'll basically escalate to our engineering team, right? It'll send me a Slack and we'll prioritize this. So really useful way of working with support. So that's now there for anybody to use. So have at it. So yeah, let's try this example. So yeah, so it says try setting like all like this. Okay, let's do this. Let's see if this works. Actually, let me add in. Well, okay, let's see if that works. Yeah, curious. And so that'll give you like, so if you get stuck with like what to prompt or what to do, then you can do that, right? And that'll work for you. I hope. If not, just reach out to me. I know we only have a few minutes left. Just scanning the room. Any other questions from anybody? Let's see. Um, I still don't see any run. Wow, everyone's kind of quiet today, huh? No one has any big questions, any big burning, ideas in their head about maybe what types of campaigns they want to run. It's pretty fun. Like you can run on Spotify, you can run on, ChatGPT now. Like there's a lot of like places that you can go with this. So yeah, it's going to create those new ones once again. I'm going to add in, oh yeah, so you can manage connections there. Yeah, so this locks you down. So if you set the folder to only certain connections, then anyone in that folder, like using those threads, won't be able to add other connections. So it's a nice way to like kind of manage, like I said, manage that and avoid making any mistakes. Um, but yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, if like I said, if you want to be notified early of like when we have these campaigns, please do reach out to me, and yeah, that's what I have to share today. You can follow us at, like I said, at Center AI on X. On YouTube, it's center-media-ai, youtube.com/. On LinkedIn, I want to say, yeah, it's like it's Center AI. So look for Center AI on LinkedIn. And Facebook, I think it's just Center as well. So yeah, follow us on any of those channels, and we'll be live every Thursday, and you'll just be able to see kind of where we're at with the product. Anyways, this is Joel signing off. Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. Yeah, good luck out there. Enjoy building. Oh, and by the way, there's also this manual. So check that out. I'll make this I'll make this deck available for you, so you can kind of go back and review this. So that's public deck that you can look at. Anyways, thanks again for joining, and yeah, have a great rest of your day or week. Okay, bye.